All right, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate it. You are at the Potomac and Chesapeake Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair, powered by StriveScan. My name is Sibel Rossi, and I'll be your facilitator for tonight's session. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Remember, this is just an appetizer of institutions and their information that they have to give you. So please make sure that you are taking notes, you're having fun with the experience, and you are asking questions. Now, you may wonder, how do you ask questions? Well, that's a great question to ask. So you're going to be clicking on that Q&A button down at the bottom of your Zoom toolbar, and that is where you're going to be typing in your questions to the presenters at any time. I stress, at any time, do not wait until the last minute to ask these questions, as we will not be having a live Q&A with your questions at the end. So once again, please make sure to type in those questions to the presenters at any time in that Q&A. Also, if you could please do us a favor and go ahead and put the institution's name within the question, just so we all know who the question goes to, that would be absolutely amazing. Also, your microphone is turned off, your camera is also turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So once again, it's extremely important that you ask those questions in the Q&A at any time. Fun fact, the chat is also going to be live, and it's going to be great because our panelists and presenters could be putting their contact information or links that they want you to check out in the chat. So go ahead and please check that out throughout the entire virtual college fair as well. Also, sign up for more sessions. We do have 2 more time slots after this session. So this is just one of many college presentations that are offered. So feel free to sign up for the next time slot. And last but not least, maybe mom missed out on today's session, or maybe a friend wants to check out these schools with you, or maybe you just want to relive the fun with us. Well, you can do that because a recording will be available of this session. All sessions are being recorded and are available at strivescan.com/PCACAC. So let's get started here with our first institution. We have Winthrop University.
Hello, my name is Michelle Bogan, and I am with Winthrop University. I am an admissions counselor, and I'm happy to talk to you a little bit about Winthrop today. So thank you for joining in. I am going to go through our presentation, and again, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the bottom. So Winthrop is a top 10 public university in the South. These are just a little bit of facts that we like to start with, and then I'll definitely give you the specifics. We are second in the nation for minority student achievement by the Education Trust. And something we're extremely excited about is 91% student placement rate in a career after college. So again, 91% student placement rate. When students graduate, they are able to find a job. And we are the most diverse student population in all of the South Carolina public universities. So we have approximately 6,000 students at Winthrop, 5,000 undergraduates, and 1,000 there working on graduate degrees. We do have students from lots of different states and almost 40 countries. We continue to strive to attract more students from different areas. We want that diverse population. And again, this has been an area of concentration for ours for the past few years, really trying to grow our population from different areas. And for 20 plus years, we have been voted by US News as a top regional college. So where is Winthrop? Winthrop is in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Rock Hill is right at the state line of South Carolina and North Carolina. We are about 30 minutes south of Charlotte. Lots to do in Rock Hill. We are the 5th largest city in the state of South Carolina, but of course, everybody is pretty much familiar with Charlotte. There's so much to do in the area. Of course, you can go into Charlotte if you want to do professional sports or catch some great shows, but we have a great amusement park, and our downtown has recently been revitalized, and there's so much to do there for our students. Students are allowed to have cars. We also have a bike share system. And now with the revitalization of our downtown, we also have a free electric bus system that runs to and from campus. So we're really excited about this for our students to be able to take advantage of. Again, all students can have cars. We are a 100-acre enclosed campus, so everything is within walking distance with the exception of our athletic facilities. We do have shuttles that run back and forth to those. They're about a mile away. But I know a lot of people are interested in having their own car. For fun things, we have over 160 student organizations. We have Greek life, we have intramural sports, club sports, just tons and tons of clubs. We do have 16 Division I sports, and we participate in the Big South Conference. We have an honors program, a lot of opportunities for students to have jobs and internships. Students can study abroad. We do fairs for jobs and for opportunities to study abroad. We hold those on campus twice a year. So a lot of opportunity for students to learn about these options. Within our campus, we do require freshmen and sophomores to live on campus. So we have the 2-year living requirement. The exception to that rule is if you live at home and your home is within 50 miles of the school. We have 8 residence halls on campus. We have apartment style, suite style, and traditional style. But we have found that students living on campus really do get more engaged. The retention rate is higher, and we just feel like it's really a good thing. So, so a lot of opportunities for students living on campus with the different types of residence halls. So a little bit more about us. We have almost 300 full-time faculty members. All of our classes are taught by professors. They are not taught by teacher assistants or grad assistants. I like to stress that because that is, you're not going to find that everywhere. So we're super excited that, that we do have that to tell our students. We have over 40 majors and 120 different areas of study. Our top 5 majors are business administration, biology, early childhood education, exercise science, and psychology. Our classes are small, average class size 21, and our student teacher ratio 13:1. So how do you become a Winthrop Eagle? Our application, we are rolling admissions, so we are still continuing to take students for the fall of this year. And our new application for the class that will begin next fall will be live on our website on around September 1, end of August, beginning of September. We have our own application, and we also, for the first time this year, started taking the Common App. We require a high school transcript, the option to send in scores, ACT or SAT, and then any other supplemental information you want to send in. We were test optional this year, and so scores were not required, and we have now found out we will be test optional for the next 2 years. So if you decide that you want to apply and not send in scores, maybe you don't have scores or you want to apply without scores, we do have a short essay for you. So anyway, I think I'm kind of getting near the end of my time. So just kind of can check out our averages online. But again, everything we have, we're doing in-person tours again. We have a virtual tour on our website. All of this information can be found on our website. And one last thing I'd like to throw in is all students that apply are automatically assessed for merit-based scholarships through Winthrop. Nothing you have to apply for separately. But please check us out on the website. I know I talk way too fast now here at the end, but please feel free to contact me or any of our counselors, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for Winthrop University, please go ahead and put it in the Q&A. Next up, we have Florida Southern College.
Awesome. Can everybody hear me okay?
You are good to go.
Awesome. Cool. So let me get my screen shared for you all. So to get started, my name is Leanne. I'm the admissions counselor who works with students from your area. So any questions you have, don't hesitate to reach out to me. But anybody on our team is more than happy to answer any questions. To get rolling with some basic information, Florida Southern is located right in between Tampa and Orlando in the city of Lakeland, Florida. We were founded in 1883. That makes us one of the oldest private colleges in the state, and we are home to about 3,000 students. 60% are from in-state and 40% from everywhere else, and that represents both international and out-of-state students. Here at Florida Southern, we have about 70 different programs of study as well as 16 pre-professional tracks, and those are across 5 different schools that you can see right there. Our most popular majors are biology and marine biology, anything in our business school, nursing, and theater and performing arts. We are a liberal arts college at our core, so you're going to be getting a well-rounded degree no matter what it is that you major in. Regardless of major, again, a common thread across the whole board is a heavy emphasis on engaged and experiential learning, which basically means that we believe in the power of learning by doing and immersing students in their field as soon as possible. We're able to offer this engaged learning experience in part because of our small class sizes. Average class size is about 18 and the student to faculty ratio is 14:1. And we're also very proud that all of our classes are taught by the professors themselves. We never have graduate assistants or student assistants leading the courses. Students are working directly with the experts. As an extension of our engaged learning philosophy are also what we call our 3 guarantees. So these are 3 things that we think make Florida Southern, a little bit special. So the first one I want to talk about is study abroad. We've got several different options for studying abroad, but our most popular option is something called the Junior Journey Program. This is a 7 to 10 day trip that takes place over school breaks, either your junior or senior year. You're getting a course credit for this time abroad. You're going with FSC faculty as well as a group of FSC students. But because it's over the break, you don't have any other conflicts. Nothing's going to keep you from getting that study abroad experience. The best part of these trips is that they are at little to no additional cost to students. And we offer both domestic and international trips. And while most of them are geared towards a specific academic focus, most of them are open to any interested student. You can go on whichever trip is the most interesting to you. We also guarantee internships to all of our students regardless of major. This is super important because obviously the majority of employers are looking for new hires with experience, and completing an internship while you're an undergrad is a great way to start building up your resume before you're out in the job market officially. Students have the option to do internships right here in the local area over the school year or something closer to home over school breaks. And then finally, the last guarantee is we guarantee graduation on time. We're able to offer this guarantee because in addition to everything I've already shared, our professors also double as your academic advisor. You're guaranteed to meet with them several times a year to make sure you know what courses you need to register for, where to go to get extra help, and just that you know what your resources are so that you can stay on track and graduate on time. So to kind of summarize everything I've shared academically so far, these academic opportunities are important because they translate to post-graduation success. We're very proud to report that 97% of our graduates report achieving their post-graduation goals within the first year of leaving Florida Southern. About a third of our students go on to some type of graduate program, and the remaining 2/3 enter the workforce directly. So outside of academics, Florida Southern does also pride itself on being a true campus community. We do have a residency requirement. Students are required to live on campus all 4 years, but kind of the flip side of that coin is that means that housing is guaranteed all 4 years. Speaking of housing, we offer 16 different options, including everything from your traditional on-campus dorms to apartment complexes that are owned by the college, just a short walk off of the campus borders to kind of give upperclassmen that semi-independent living feel. We have tons of different ways to get involved, connect with classmates, and show your school spirit. Athletic-wise, we are Division II for the NCAA, and we have 20 Division II sports right here on campus. We also have lots of options to participate in the club and intramural level if varsity level athletics aren't really necessarily your thing, but you still want to be involved. We also have over 100 different student clubs and organizations ranging everywhere from Greek life and campus ministries, student government and performing arts groups, and even special interest groups and organizations like the Florida Southern Cat Enthusiasts or the Disney Club, because we're pretty close to, the theme park area. So now that I've talked a lot about Florida Southern, getting down to business in terms of how to apply. First and foremost, it is 100% free to apply no matter how you do so, no application fee. We're available on our website, the Common App, and the Coalition app. We are a test optional school, so if you have scores and you're pleased with them, definitely send them in, but if you don't, you definitely don't have to turn them in. In addition to the application, we're also going to ask for a high school transcript, a letter of recommendation, and a personal statement. Once we receive all your materials, we get decisions back to you guys, and if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. And then the quickly touch on financial aid, every application that is read is also automatically read for an academic-based scholarship. We also take the FAFSA into consideration and have some separate application scholarships available as well. Then finally, we're open for tours as well as some online visit options, so definitely check us out. We'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for Florida Southern College, go ahead and please put it in the Q&A. Next up, we have Texas Tech University.
All righty, everybody. My name's Taylor Chilka. I'm with Texas Tech University. Thank you all for being here today. So let's get rolling. So a little bit about Texas Tech. We are 40,322 students as of the fall 2020. We have a 19-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio this semester. So you're still going to get some of that more hands-on, smaller class sizes. Now, that being said, your first year at Texas Tech with like a science class, it could be a larger one. But give you an idea, we're about the 5th largest university in the state of Texas. We are a diversity champion. So we're a Hispanic serving institution. We're proud to be one of the most diverse here in the state of Texas. We really want to represent the state of Texas in the diversity. So you'll see that we are a diversity champion. We're a tier 1 research institution, one of only 131 public and private universities in the country that get to be that Carnegie tier 1. So we're really excited about that. We've been that for a while. So you're going to have that opportunity to start getting that research within your undergrad time. We are a U.S. News World Report's top 100 public university. And then you'll see our average test score there. As you know, with the pandemic and everything, we have gone test optional. Any juniors in the room, we will be test optional next year, but just to give you an idea of where we were. So you may be wondering, where's Lubbock, Texas? So we are located in West Texas. We're in the South Plains region of West Texas. So not quite the Panhandle, but pretty close. We have over 250,000 residents in the city of Lubbock. We have an international airport. So if you can fly to Dallas, Houston, or DFW, you are able to connect over into Lubbock. We even have connecting flights from Vegas and Denver now, as well as Austin. So if you can get to any of those cities, you can make it into Lubbock by flying, or if you wanted to trek across the country, you could do that as well. Most of our students come from over 300 miles away. It makes it a true residential campus. We have over 1,800 acres on our campus. So you do have kind of the campus as its own area. That's a picture behind me, but it's also in the heart of the city of Lubbock, which really makes it unique. As we keep going, a little bit about our campus, or at least our programs. We have over 150 majors and minors to choose from, 10 different academic colleges within the undergraduate side. On our main campus, we also have the Texas Tech School of Law, as well as a comprehensive Texas Tech Health Sciences Center, as well as that's connected to our level 1 trauma unit. So we have the county hospital on our campus as well. So when I say a comprehensive health sciences center, we're talking medicine, pharmacy, nursing, physical therapy, physician assistant, occupational therapy, fully comprehensive on that. We are opening up the Texas Tech School of Veterinary Medicine this year. So we'll be at the 2nd vet school in the state of Texas, first in over 100 years. So we're really excited. That won't be in Lubbock. It will be north of us, but it is going to be part of our system. Let's talk a little bit about the community. Most of our students, like I said, come from over 300 miles away on our campus, given the geographical location of Texas and how we are set up. That's what really kind of makes it unique, and it gives that community. We have over 19 residence halls. All of our new first-time students are required to live on campus. We have the learning community, so you can live with students that are kind of the same major and things that you're interested in, or you can just kind of pick a random potluck and go that style, which is also a great opportunity for you as well. We have over 550 student organizations, everything from Greek life to political to religious to, I think there's a canoeing club in that picture right there. That is our lazy river, which is connected to our rec center. So we have a lot of things for our students to do on our campus. Again, creating that community, getting you immersed into the college life, into the Texas Tech Red Raider world. Texas Tech does a really great job about that. We are part of the Big 12 Athletic Conference, so we have some of the best sports that come to the campus every year. Big 12 Conference is the University of Texas, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, just to name a few. So all of our students that are full-time at Texas Tech, you do receive unlimited access to all of the home sporting events. So it's a really great way to just start meeting new Red Raider friends, to cheer on the Red Raiders, and do things like that. So a Saturday at Jones AT&T Stadium in the fall. There's not much better in West Texas than that. You'll see a couple of our other traditions on there. I like to brag about our mascot, Raider Red. He was the NCA, National Cheer Association Mascot of the Year, national champion this year. So we're really proud to have that on our campus. A little bit about our admission side of things. Our applications are located on Apply Texas and the Common App. You may be seeing us on a third next year. Any juniors, I believe we're going to be on Coalition as well. We do have an application fee. We have a fee waiver process where we'll use FAFSA information. We'll need a high school transcript for that. If you want to send in a college transcript, if you have dual credit, we would love it. And then we are test optional, but we will accept test scores, and we super score if you want to go that route as well. You will let us know on the test whether you're going to be test optional. We do take a look at your class rank and your test scores if you're going to go that route. If you go the test optional route, it's a full holistic review. On our application, there is going to be a scholarship question. So please know that when you submit your application for the university, there are specific scholarship questions that you need to fill out to submit when you apply to the university. We will look at all of our students from merit-based scholarships. And to kind of go over our merit-based scholarships, we'll look at that class rank and test score first. And then if you do go test optional, we will review everything holistically, fully looking at everything that you submit. One of the great things about Texas Tech University, if you do receive $1,000 in competitive scholarships from the university, you will qualify for in-state tuition. So you'll see the difference between our non-resident tuition there and our in-state tuition. So $1,000 in competitive scholarships to the school will get you that. Lastly, as I know my time is starting to come up, come visit us. If you can find yourself out into West Texas, definitely come take a look at campus. Again, I'm biased. It's one of the most beautiful campuses, but there is my information there, but you can come see us virtually as well. Thanks, and y'all have a great day. Rec 'em Tech.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for Texas Tech, go ahead and put it in the Q&A. Next up, we have Clemson University.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well today. Give me just a second. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And welcome. My name is Monica Rosman, and I am an admissions counselor at Clemson, as well as a very proud alum. So I'm excited to share a little bit more about my alma mater with y'all tonight. The first thing I want to touch on is where exactly Clemson is. So Clemson is a public land grant institution located in the upstate of South Carolina. We are about 2 to 2.5 hours from Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Columbia, South Carolina. So very centrally located between those three larger cities. Clemson has a true college campus. So when you're on campus, you're really not going to be seeing anyone who's not part of that Clemson community, which we love. It's also a beautiful area. We're right next to Lake Hartwell, the Blue Ridge Mountains. Campus is very walkable. So anywhere you need to go, you'll be able to get there within 10 to 15 minutes. With that said, if you do want to bring a car, you can have one starting your freshman year. So especially if you're planning to use a car to drive yourself back and forth to home around holidays and breaks, you're welcome to bring it. But if it is more convenient for you to fly, it's good to keep in mind that we will provide airport shuttle transportation to and from the Greenville-Spartanburg International Airport, which is about an hour away from campus, as well as the Charlotte International Airport, which is about 2 to 2.5 hours. The next thing I want to touch on is Clemson a little bit by our numbers, giving some context to the size of school that we are. So we are medium, leaning a little bit towards large. Our total student body size is right around 26,000. By and far, the majority of our students at Clemson are undergraduates. So we have about 20,000 undergraduate students working towards that four-year bachelor's degree. Our in-state, out-of-state student ratio is about 60% in-state, 40% out-of-state. So we do have representation from all over the US as well as all over the world, not just South Carolina. And we do put a very strong emphasis on community at Clemson as well. Some of the ways we do that inside the classroom are by keeping our student faculty ratio at about 16:1 to make sure that our professors will be very accessible to students. They'll be available to answer questions, of course, in class time, but also outside of class through office hours and by appointment. And then our median class size at Clemson is only 19. So what that means is that most of the time, the class sizes you experience at Clemson will be fairly comparable to what you would have experienced in high school as well. The last two things I want to mention from this page are also going to be that 83% graduation rate and our 93% freshman retention rate, which means that about 93% of our freshmen at Clemson will return to start their sophomore year with us as well. And then focusing in a little bit on our career services. So Clemson offers over 80 different majors, and getting your Clemson degree is important, but using your Clemson degree after graduation is probably more important. And Clemson does have one of the nation's best career services in the entire country, which is a really good thing for our students. And they will work with students to perfect their resume, their cover letter, and their interview skills to make sure that when students are applying for internships, they will be really set up for success with that. But then also when it comes time for students to find full-time placements after graduation and apply for graduate school, our career services will be a huge help to them in that area as well. And they are definitely the reason we have that 96% employment rate within 6 months of graduation. And then one of the other things I want to highlight on this slide is that over half of our students will work outside the state of South Carolina after graduation. So even though Clemson is a public state school, our students will go on to work all over the world. And focusing on student life as well, students at Clemson love to work hard and play hard, and some of the ways our students will get involved outside the classroom will be in one or more of our 550 plus student clubs and organizations. Some of the most popular will be things like ROTC, Greek Life Club, and intramural sports, but we have everything up to and including the Chocolate Milk Club, so chances are we have exactly what would make that college experience special for you. School spirit is also very, very strong at Clemson. You may know us for our football, but there's always going to be a sport that is in season, and you can just show your ID and walk into most games. If it's a really competitive game, you may need to get there just a little bit early, but students love to go out and support our student athletes. And as I mentioned a little while ago, we're right next to the Blue Ridge Mountains in Lake Hartwell. So if you are an outdoorsy person, Clemson will be heaven for you. And then the very last thing that I want to touch on is just an overview of our admissions process. So focusing on dates and deadlines first, at Clemson, we do not have early action or early decision. What we have are priority deadlines. So what that means is that as long as you hit submit on your application by December 1st, and you make sure to complete your application by December 31st, you will automatically be reviewed for all academic merit scholarships for us here at Clemson. You will receive priority consideration for our incoming freshman class, and you will receive a decision by the week of February 15th in the spring. So students can apply all the way up through May 1st of their senior year, but we do encourage students to meet those December priority deadlines if at all possible. For test scores, we have not yet decided if we'll be test optional again for the upcoming school year. We should make that decision in the next month or so, so keep an eye on our website. But the two things for test scores I want to mention is that one, we do allow students to submit new and updated test scores through December 31st to meet those priority deadlines. And we do super score both the SAT and ACT. You can also see that our application is available through a wide variety of application platforms. And if you have any more questions about what it looks like to apply to Clemson, I will put a link in the chat where you can do a virtual visit. I'll put my contact information as well, and we can go a little bit more in depth if you have any other questions. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let our moderator take back over, and we'll look forward to talking to you all a little bit more later.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for Clemson University, please put it in the Q&A. If all of our panelists and presenters could come on back on video, that would be fantastic. I actually have a question for you all. All right. So this is where I get to hear, or our attendees get to hear, a little bit about kind of what you do on the behind the scenes end of things, right? So you all are the admissions representatives. You all have the ability to tell our attendees really what are the nitty-gritty details or the tips and tricks that they need to know through the college search process. So that is my question for you right now. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll just go in presentation order. So Winthrop University, you're first.
Yes, so I would say as you're doing your search, well, there's so much information now. I think we've all put out even extra information on our websites where you can do virtual tours. You can get lots and lots of information just by going to the websites. But I know also if you can get to the schools and visit as much as you can, do in-person visits and get to the campus. But again, I think a lot of us, I know for us, we're continuing to do virtual chats, so you can reach out to a counselor and ask questions and just really feel out the schools and see if you think it's going to be a good fit for you.
Fantastic, thank you. And quickly before Florida Southern College goes, we do have a question in the Q&A that isn't specific to an institution. So if you all, as different institutions would like to answer the question, feel free to have multiple answers. Or if the student did have a specific question for a specific institution, please feel free to just retype the answer, make sure, or the question, so we all know who the question goes to. But let's see, who's up next? We have Florida Southern College. What advice would you give?
Yeah, I would say, don't be shy. Most of the schools you're applying to, they have an admissions counselor assigned for your specific area. I would definitely recommend looking up who that person is and just sending them a quick email introducing yourself once you submit your application. The better we know you, the more tools we're going to have to read your application. So definitely don't be a stranger.
Awesome, thank you. And Texas Tech University?
So I'll definitely echo the visit and find where you're going to be happy. 4 years is a long time on a college campus, so you definitely want to make sure you're comfortable and happy. But my biggest thing is staying organized, or at least knowing every college has different deadlines, what priority and all of that. I'm a spreadsheet person, write it down, put it in a Google Drive so it's always with you on your phone. But because the hardest part as an admissions counselor is when you miss a deadline and I have to tell you that you missed a deadline, and we're pretty cut and dry when it comes to deadlines at times with universities. We have to be, because we get so many applications, but be sure to keep yourself organized, put down the schools you're applying for, and putting what their deadlines and their dates, and checking mark when you're done there, and apply early. I think that's one of the biggest things, is the earlier you're in, work with your admissions counselors at these universities. We're all here to help you. College process is what we're excited about. Whether you end up at our schools or not, we just love that you're going through this and looking at higher education. I think, at least I am. Hopefully everybody else does too. But
awesome, thank you so much. Clemson University?
Yeah, I think that's a really great point to look at dates and deadlines, and every school is going to do things a little bit differently. And especially when it comes to when to submit things and which deadline is going to be the best fit for you, making sure you're not missing any scholarship applications. I would recommend very much contacting each of the schools you're looking at, like Taylor said, and just getting a feel for what those dates and deadlines mean at every school. Maybe make a spreadsheet. I know that sounds so nerdy, but I remember when I was a senior in high school, one of the biggest stressors for me was I always felt like I was missing something. And so if I had someone from the schools I was looking at saying, no, you're good, you've met every deadline, you're good to go, your application is complete, you're going to be considered for all scholarships, that is such a huge thing. And especially for students right now that will be applying this fall, the end of their sophomore year, that was a little bit of a mess. Junior year has been an adventure, to put it nicely. And so senior year is hopefully going to be a little bit more normal. And so with that, getting those college applications done as early as possible so you can really focus on making the most of your senior year, spending time with your friends before y'all all go your separate ways after graduation. That's huge. The only other thing that I would add is that before students start college is a really great time to think about what do I want to do and potentially shadow people in different job fields and maybe reach out to family friends that you're like, hey, you know what, Uncle Rod, what he does sounds so cool. Maybe send him some questions about how he got into that and did he go to graduate school and what would he really recommend that you do to learn a little bit more about what a day in the life looks like for the careers that you're interested in, because before you start school is a great time to get those questions answered. You can do that after you start school as well, but it can really inform which major could be a good fit for you in the long run.
Awesome. Thank you so much, y'all. All right, I have one more question for you. What is your favorite event or tradition on campus? And this could be anything. I know we've heard a few kind of here and there, but I'd love to hear from each of you. So Winthrop University, you're first once again.
So for us at Winthrop, I actually did attend Winthrop many years ago. And Winthrop is very rich in traditions. The school is over 130 years old, started as an all-girls teaching school. So when Winthrop started, the ladies wore blue and white uniforms. And so our colors have kind of morphed over the years. We were kind of blue and garnet, and now we're kind of garnet and gold. But anyway, blue was part of our colors. And so convocation, I think, is just such a fun time. I mean, everybody's there. We're starting the school year, the president's talking, and a tradition with Winthrop is after leaving, all students are well, before convocation, they're given a t-shirt and they put on their t-shirt, and we followed the president wearing our blue t-shirt, and it's called the Blue Line, as it was many years ago, and we go and have a picnic. So beginning of school year, everybody's together. Of course, that didn't happen last year, which was pretty sad, but it's just a great tradition at Winthrop.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Florida Southern College.
Yeah, so something that's kind of cool about Florida Southern, we're actually a nationally recognized historic landmark for being the largest single-site collection of Frank Lloyd Wright structures in the world. One of the structures we have on campus, it was designed by him, but it wasn't built till 2007. It's called the Water Dome. It's this giant reflective pool of water, with jet fountains on the side that can make a whole dome of water. Because it is a historic landmark, students aren't allowed to wade in it or climb in it or anything like that. But during the last week of classes every year, we hold a pool party in the Water Dome for the seniors. So they get to, be in this big fancy thing, and we bring a DJ and we have pool toys and things like that. And obviously it couldn't happen last year, which was really sad, but I was really pleased that we were able to do it this year. And the day after we did it for our 21 seniors, we had a second senior splash where any 2020 student who was able to come back in town, they got to have their senior splash too.
I'm sure they appreciated that so much, especially with this warm weather right now. So that's awesome. All right, Texas Tech University.
So my favorite, and I always change it up for this, but because I love so many, but no, my favorite would be our mask rider tradition. If you've ever seen Texas Tech football or any old actual Under Armour commercials and stuff, it's the horse and rider running out of the field in the tunnel of smoke with the football team behind them. But usually it's a senior or a grad student that's been in the program for a while that gets selected to be the mask rider. They do over 200 appearances a year. So just for the student, it's a really cool opportunity. Obviously they have horsemanship and things like that because it's a full gallop across the field with 60,000 fans. But as just a alum and a fan, every time I see the mask rider on campus or walking around, I nerd out and still take photos with them. And I graduated 12 years ago now, and I probably have at least 15 different mask riders, which is kind of fun for me to just see them all lined up. So that's one of my favorites.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Clemson University.
So I have two, and I hope I can sneak that in because I can't decide which one is better, but I keep this in my desk drawer, and this is a Tiger Paw stamp $2 bill. And back in the day, George Bennett, who's now one of our alum, we were playing Georgia Tech very regularly every year. And then they said they didn't want to play us anymore because they didn't think that we were cool enough. And so he was like, y'all, we are going to only spend $2 bills and we're going to stamp them with Tiger Paws so they know exactly how much money we spend, because we're a little bit petty here at Clemson, just a little bit. But ever since then, and this was decades and decades and decades ago, ever since then, for all away games, it's very traditional that alum and students, they'll all get $2 bills. And in Clemson, there's actually a limit on how many you can get. They order them special, but you can't get more than $100 worth at a time. But they'll stamp them for you in the bank. And so that's something that is such a cool tradition that we have to this day, that you'll spend in $2 bills. There's so many stories where someone has had someone come up to them and is like, you're with Clemson, y'all have those $2 bills. I will give you $100 if you have one on you right now. And so it's a very good investment too. And then now I'm sneaking in my second favorite tradition, but the Clemson ring is something that almost everyone gets besides Texas A&M. We have the second most ring purchases in the entire country, and Texas A&M is huge compared to us. So hopefully that shows that pretty much everyone who graduates from Clemson will get the ring. And before you graduate, you wear it with the year facing in towards you. After you graduate, you have an alum flip it. So that way it's facing out and basically telling the world that you went to Clemson. Flipping someone's ring is like the most iconic thing you can do for them, where they basically said, you were the biggest mentor to me during my time at Clemson. I have gotten to flip 2, and then I'm going to be flipping a 3rd one in a little bit for one of my mentees from when I was a student at Clemson. It's a very exciting thing to do. And the ring ceremony is something that you do usually your junior or senior year at Clemson. It's one of the most meaningful things that you can do. You hear all these stories, including one about one of our alum that his ring literally saved his life, which is crazy. But it's such a cool thing to be able to have as a physical reminder that you wear every day for the rest of your life, that Clemson's not just a 4-year experience, it truly is something you have for your entire lifetime.
Awesome. Thank you all so, so much. I definitely learned a thing or two, and I'm sure our attendees did it as well. And also super fun, just events and traditions that you all do at your institution. So thank you all for sharing. Really appreciate it. All right. We are at the end of our virtual college fair for this particular session. Once again, my panelists and presenters, you all have been awesome. Thank you so much. My attendees, you all have been great too. Thank you so much for joining us. Really quick couple things before you leave. After you close this window, the words very quick are literally on your screen. So we're not lying to you when we say very quick. 4 questions will appear when you close out the window. So just give us some feedback. We really do appreciate it. Also sign up for more sessions. We do have 2 more time slots coming up here that you can learn about some other amazing institutions. And remember that recording is available at the link that you see on your screen if you'd like to catch up and relive the fun as well. With that said, you all, thank you again so, so much for being here, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, everybody.